This video goes with experiment number 4, the law of refraction. If you'll notice on the ray table, I have a lens placed on it. This has a flat side on one side and it's hemispherical on the other side. So we're going to notice some interesting things about how the light propagates through that lens. You have become aware of Snell's law, which is outlined on your paperwork. And so we're going to see how the light refracts through the lens. I have covered up the light table over here to try and minimize excess glare. We'll see if this makes it any clearer in the video. Because what we're going to do in this case is fill out the data table based on what you can observe in the video, and I'm going to carefully go through the refraction angles that are on the page. So what I want you to do is to be watching when I set the angle of incidence over on this side. You'll see the angle of refraction over on this side. You may have to zoom in, you may have to watch a couple times to get this, but I'll show you. So I'm going to bend this one, and the first one is to be set at 10 degrees. So I set it at 10 degrees, and we can notice that the angle of refraction is about 6 degrees. I'm going to go here to 20. The angle of refraction now is about 13 degrees. I'm going to go to 30. This is always taking it by eye. It's hard to see sometimes. So 30 degrees on incident is about 19 refracted out the other side. 40 degrees, 25, 50 degrees, 31, 60 degrees, 35, 70 degrees, 39, 80 degrees, 42. Now what's interesting is my refracted ray is coming out over here, but look at this, I also have a reflected ray coming off over here. So my incident is at 80, my reflected ray is also about 80 degrees, which goes back to our law of Refraction Lab and looks kind of interesting. Now, the lab paperwork goes all the way to 90. What happens when I get to 90? As I approach 90 degrees from 80, I'm going to do this a couple times so you can watch it. I get more and more reflected light and less refracted light until at 90 there is none at all. Essentially the ray is passing right by the face of the lens and not refracting into it at all. But I just have to go a little bit. Now I'm going to go all the way back to 0. It's kind of cool. You can actually, if you watch the ray bend with the angle changing rapidly, it's kind of neat there. Okay, now I'm going to go here. I'm going to go the other way and let you see what data you get for refraction. 10 degrees incident, 20 degrees incident, 30 degrees, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, and I'm going to approach 90 and see what happens. Now what you can do with the data that we've gathered is to go ahead and construct a graph, as you can see on the second page of the lab, and we can find a best fit line. using the specifications that are given there on the second page of the lab. So I want you to go ahead and do that. You can either use Excel to do that, or you can do that on graph paper. My preference is obviously going to be Excel, and we're going to probably go through some of those details as we work this data up in class.